Have you ever looked at your own life and wondered whether people actually know the real you? Not the version you post online. Not the version that smiles when people ask how you are doing. Not the version that always seems to have a plan, but the real you. The one who sometimes feels confused. The one who has questions. The one who gets tired. The one who doesn't always know what comes next. Welcome to Unmask with Ladun. This is a space where we stop performing and start telling the truth. And I thought the best way to begin this journey was by talking about the mask I have been wearing. Because if I'm asking other people to be honest, I have to start with myself. For those who don't know me, my name is Ladun, and over the years, people have known me as different things. A fashion designer, a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, an author, someone passionate about intentional living, someone who encourages people to discover their purpose and build meaningful lives. And I am grateful for all that. But lately, I have been asking myself a difficult question. What happens when the person encouraging everyone else needs encouragement too? What happens when the person teaching intentional living is still trying to figure things out herself? What happens when the strong person gets tired? Because the truth is, for a long time, I felt like I had to keep being strong. I felt like I had to keep moving, keep building, keep posting, keep showing up, and keep inspiring. Somewhere along the way, I started wearing a mask myself. Not a mask of dishonesty, but a mask of strength. The kind of mask that says, "Oh, don't worry about me. I have it all under control." Even when I didn't. So I'll give you a backstory. A few years ago, I packed my bag and I left Nigeria and moved to the UK like many immigrants. I came carrying dreams. Dreams of growth, dreams of opportunity, dreams of becoming everything I believed I could be. But what nobody tells you is that starting over can be lonely. You leave behind familiarity. You leave behind the systems you've built for yourself. You leave behind people who know your story, and suddenly you are rebuilding. Not just your business, not just your career, but also your identity. And you find yourself trying to answer questions like, who am I in this new season? Who am I when nobody knows my history? Who am I when things don't go according to plan? And if I am being truthful, that journey has been harder than I expected. There were moments when I thought I would be much further ahead than I am today. Moments when I thought certain businesses would grow faster. Moments when I believed certain opportunities will open sooner. Moments when I questioned whether I was making the right decisions. And because of my kind of person, I am naturally ambitious. So what did I do? I kept creating plans, new goals, new strategies, new visions, new projects, always believing the next thing would be the final breakthrough. Eventually, I had to confront something uncomfortable. The problem wasn't that I lacked vision. In fact, I had plenty of vision. The problem was that sometimes I was using the vision to avoid vulnerability. I was more comfortable planning than processing, more comfortable building than being honest, more comfortable teaching than admitting that I was struggling too. And one thing I've noticed about myself is that I can get very excited about an idea. I see the possibilities, I see the future, I see the impact. I see everything and I start running. Then, somewhere along the journey, fatigue shows up, doubt shows up, fear shows up, and suddenly I find myself wondering whether I can really do it. Maybe you have experienced that too, maybe not. Maybe you have started businesses, started projects, started dreams, started healing journeys, started relationships, started goals, only to find yourself stuck halfway. You are not alone. Then comes this guilt, the guilt of not finishing, the guilt of not being where you thought you would be, the guilt of comparing yourself to people who seem to be moving faster. I have felt that more times than I care to admit. And for a while, I tried to hide it. Not from other people, but from myself. Because if I admitted it, I thought it meant I was failing. But here is what I am learning. Struggling does not mean you are failing. Feeling uncertain does not mean you are failing. Needing rest does not mean you are failing. Being human does not mean you are failing. I'll tell you what, one of the biggest masks I have worn is the belief that I need to become someone else before I am qualified to help people. That I need more followers, more money, more success, more achievements, more proof. Then maybe I will be enough. But what if that's not true? What if the people we are meant to impact do not need our perfection? What if they need our honesty? What if they don't connect with our victories nearly as much as they connect with our journey? And that thought has been changing me, because I am realizing that authenticity creates connection. Performance creates distance. And I don't want the distance anymore. I want truth. And that's why I am starting this podcast. Not because I have all the answers, but because I am willing to ask the questions. Not because I have mastered life, but because I am committed to living it intentionally. Not because I have removed every mask myself, but because I am learning how to take them off, one layer at a time. Maybe your mask is different from mine. Maybe yours is the mask of having it all together. Maybe yours is the mask of success. Maybe yours is the mask of confidence. Maybe yours is the mask of independence. Maybe yours is the mask of being the strong one for everyone else. But whatever it is, I want you to know something. You don't have to carry it forever. You don't have to spend your whole life performing. You don't have to become someone else to be worthy. You don't have to hide your humanity. Because the truth is, some of the most powerful transformations begin the moment we stop pretending. So that's my truth, the mask I have been wearing. And this podcast is my commitment to showing up more honestly, not perfectly, honestly. So guys, thank you for spending this time with me. But before you go, I want you to reflect on one question, just one. What mask have you been wearing? Let me know in the comment section. I will see you in the next episode of Unmask with Ladon. Until then, keep choosing truth over performance and intention over appearance. Toodles. Bye guys.